Parenting with purpose begins here. Parents often say, "Coach, my child is stubborn. My child is rebellious. My child just won't listen." But here's the truth. In most cases, you don't have a child problem. You have a connection problem. And until you fix the connection, no amount of discipline, punishment, or lectures will work. Today, I will show you why connection is a missing piece and what disconnection looks like, and practical strategies to rebuild it, even unconventional ones that actually work. Challenging child behavior are rarely due to the child being bad or broken. Instead, behaviors like tantrums, defiance, or apathy are often symptoms of a strained emotional bond or a need for a closer connection with the parent. Let's talk about the myth of the problem child. This is the belief that a child's difficult behavior is a reflection of their character being bad, or willful or defiant, rather than a symptom of unmet needs or environmental stressors. Experts argue that there are no problem kids, only kids dealing with problems they lack the skills to solve. When a child acts out, they are often having a hard time rather than giving you one. Viewing behavior as a message changes the goal from compliance to connection. Whining or clinginess is often a signal of a need for connection or feeling ignored. Tantrums, on the other hand, usually indicate emotional overwhelm and a need for a co-regulation help. Defiance can be a plea for autonomy or a way of saying, "I feel powerless." Aggression, on the other hand, is often a stress response to feeling scared, overstimulated, or unsafe. Parents label children as difficult or problematic, but psychology tells us behavior is communication. So there's this story of a parent whose son will not follow some rules at home. She thought he was just being defiant, but the real issue was that the child was feeling unheard. His input was not considered when the rules were created, and he clashed with some things that were very important to him. See, children don't just grow out of disconnection, they grow into it. Most times, misbehavior is a cry for reconnection. When a child feels disconnected, insecure, or overwhelmed, they act out to get attention or test the security of the relationship. So how do we shift from control to connection? Traditional parenting often focuses on punishing behavior to gain compliance or control. Whereas connection-based parenting suggests that when you fix the underlying lack of connection, the behavior improves on its own. Attention seeking is connection seeking. What is often labeled attention seeking is actually a healthy, necessary bid for connection. When you meet the need with presence rather than punishment, the behavior typically stops. Now, let's talk about what connection problems look like. The first one is resistance to routine. A child who's constantly struggling with transition or daily tasks may be feeling a lack of secure connection. Secondly, defiance. If a child feels disconnected, they may be struggling to cooperate because the trust that makes them want to follow your lead is missing. The third is sibling rivalry. A child who fights with siblings may actually be trying to win back attention or secure their place with the parents. Other signs of disconnection may include constant power struggles, selective obedience, they listen to others but not me, emotional outbursts or shutdowns, overdependence on screen or peers for validation. See, connection is like a Wi-Fi. When the signal is weak, the device malfunctions. So the child isn't broken, the signal is. Studies in child psychology show that secure attachment predicts resilience, cooperation, and emotional regulation. But why do parents lose connection with their children? The first reason is a busy parent syndrome, overloaded schedules, reacting instead of responding. Secondly, we have failure to shift roles. As children grow, their needs change, but parents often get stuck in a specific mode of interaction. To protect their independence, the child pulls away and shuts down communication. The third reason is conditional love and achievement pressure. When a child feels that the parent's affection is tied to specific outcomes, the relationship becomes transactional. The child hides their struggles, fears, and true self from parents to maintain the perfect image required to keep the parents' love. This creates a wall of pretense and kills connection. Then we have the fix-it mode versus the emotional validation. One of the most common complaints from children is that parents do not listen to understand, they listen to reply. The result is that the child feels unheard or invalidated. Over time, the child realizes that his talking to the parent results in lectures, not comfort. So they stop sharing their inner world. The fifth reason is lack of interest in your child's world. Respect is a two-way street. Often, parents expect their children to respect their authority and experience, but fail to show genuine curiosity about their child's evolving interests. This can lead to loss of connection. And then the last is unresolved parental trauma. Sometimes the barrier to connection lies in the parent's own past of unresolved trauma. So there was this brilliant little boy who loved playing football. Eventually, his academic performance began to drop because he spent so much time playing football. Now, instead for his parents to help him find a balance, his parents completely banned him from playing football at all. So he became rebellious, and this affected his relationship with his parents, both his dad and mom. And that's how connection between them was lost. Now, let's talk about the strategies to rebuild connection. Or should I say how to fix the connection problem? The first strategy is connection before correction. When a child is misbehaving, address the emotional state first. Calm them down, listen, validate, and then address the behavior later. The second strategy is the 7-7-7 rule, where you should spend 7 minutes in the morning, 7 minutes after school or work, 7 minutes before bedtime in undivided quality time or one-on-one time with your child without any agenda. The third strategy is get curious, not furious. Ask yourself, what is my child trying to tell me with this behavior, rather than how do I make them stop this? The fourth strategy is model emotional regulation. A child often co-regulates with their parent. Your calm response or calm presence during a tantrum helps them to feel safe and connected, reducing their stress response. The fifth strategy is teach the missing skill. If a child hits another because they can't wait, use tools like a visual timer to actively teach the skill of waiting in a calm setting, rather than just punishing the child for hitting the other. The sixth strategy is praise efforts, not obedience. Focus on self-efficacy by noticing when they recover from a hard moment. Or for instance, you looked overwhelmed and took a break. That's great self-awareness. The seventh strategy is pause before reacting. Emotional regulation is the foundation of correction. The eighth strategy is consistency over intensity. 10 minutes of focused presence daily beats hours of distraction or distracted parenting. The ninth strategy is learn your child's love language. Every child has a unique connection code. Some need touch, others words, others shared activities. The 10th strategy is create and use connection rituals, weekly family check-ins, or bedtime reactions or reflections. By focusing on repairing the bond, you are addressing the root cause, making the child feel safe, seen, heard, which naturally leads to better behavior and cooperation. One parent shifted from yelling to connecting with their child, and rebellion turned into cooperation. See, children don't rebel against parents, they rebel against unstable structures. So, alignment always follows clarity. When connection is restored, behavior aligns naturally. So, the next time you're tempted to say that my child is the problem, pause and ask, where is the connection broken? Because parenting isn't about fixing children, it's about building bridges. And when the bridge is strong, the child will cross over to trust, cooperation, and growth. If this resonates with you, share it with another parent who needs to hear that they don't have a child problem, just a connection problem. And remember, clarity, consistency, and connection always wins. See you in my next video, and bye.